What's going on, you guys? This is Nic Garvin. Welcome back to another NGPC podcast and a little show tonight, bringing it you guys here. I'm so stoked to get this kicked off. I mean, dude, this is kind of what I've been dreaming of. I got freaking little Logie in the back, little Logie Stoopy in the back here. Got Ryan, he's in Texas, but this, between us three and Trevor Hunter, we've been really trying to make a push for this pod and do this show, and this is really cool. It brings light to these West Coast guys. It brings light to the series. It brings light to what people don't even know what's going on out here in California, Nevada, Utah. I mean, where else we go? Arizona, Blythe. We're bringing light to a series that needs to bring light bringing to. Once Works ruled the off-road scene, and it was super cool. It was 40 guy gates. I mean, Pro 2, Pro. We had 40 dudes, 80 dudes in the pro race, and now it's coming back. It's coming back to the NGPC series. These guys, these clubs are doing a fantastic job getting everything together. And the best thing about this series is they listen to what the pros have to say. They listen and they improve, okay? They don't have somebody saying, no, this is what you're gonna do, and if you don't like it, then go race somewhere else. That's not about this series. This series is about having the pros say, come with these ideas and say, hey, this is what we want. This is how it should work. And it's really cool because I've seen it over the last 5 years and the progression of this series, and it's absolutely killing it. I gotta say, what do you say, Lo? You think so over there in the corner?
Yeah, we killing it.
Yeah, we killing it. That's right. We killing it. So, we killing it right now. We got the camera rolling. I'm gonna try and do my eye contact, but at the same time, I'm gonna be focused on the talking and focused on the race. I'm so stoked to get this race kicked off in Delano. We were out at SoCal. We were out at Delano, brought to you guys by SoCal MC, and it was sick when I showed up, and it was really cool. And I went out there and I got to ride, and the track was absolutely epic. Friday was so sick. If you guys can imagine a nice 6 mile grass track on natural terrain with no jumps, a little bit of corners, ruts were actually packing in really deep. The freaking dirt was like heaven. It was chocolate cake. It was like something that you don't ever get here. Like, the rains lately have been making it so good. The dirt and soil is just stuff we get every 5 years, and right now we're on that 5-year run. So if you don't have a dirt bike and you're listening to this show, get yourself a freaking dirt bike and get out there right now, because the freaking dirt is just so wet and nice and grippy, and it just makes me stoked. It makes me stoked. Logan's looking at me like I'm so crazy right now, but no, but it's good. This is a time to get out there and train and become better and show who you are and prove to everybody else that you're the man. So get out there, buy a dirt bike, and go ride your damn dirt bike. Let's knock off some sponsors for the show. I'm super stoked to knock these guys off. We got Rad Custom Graphics. Rad Custom Designs is your one-stop shop for graphic needs. If you're looking to get Big 6 graphics, desert graphics, really any kind of graphics. I got a little story about, my brother. For Christmas one year, I literally did something so gnarly on his graphics. He didn't like it. He took them off. You guys can imagine what I did. But Ryan made them for me. And you know what? Every time I go to Ryan and I get my graphics done, they come out perfect. Every single time. They're good quality. I even get my shirts made by him. NGPC gets their shirts made by him. Most of the clubs use all of his stuff. Canopies, wraps, vehicle wraps, UTVs, cars, trophy trucks. I mean, anything that you guys have, Ryan is slapping a sticker on. He's putting it on your bike. He's putting it on your car. He's putting it on whatever he needs to do. I even think he makes pasties, if I'm not mistaken. So if you guys go to Havasu, I know you guys like to go to Havasu in the summertime. Make sure you guys grab your pasties by Ryan. Oh, shoot. Anyways, we got a good show tonight. Pretty stoked. I'm going to be solo. Unfortunately, my guy that was supposed to come tonight didn't end up making it down here. So we're going to do our best to bring you guys highlights of the weekend. Make sure if you guys are tuning into the show that you guys watch, because Ryan puts in race footage from the weekend. He puts in, certain things that happened during the weekend or happened before the weekend, just it's really good. He produces it really well, and if you guys haven't already, make sure you guys go check out that preview show. It's on NGPC. We got the 250 pros and the 450 pros. Unfortunately, when we did the women's one, I don't know what happened, but my audio did not. We screwed up. So I apologize to you, pro women. We'll get you on this show today, and we'll get it going. So, anyways, the weekend started out great. Unfortunately, we saw what was going to happen. It started pouring rain all day Saturday. I think it almost got up to an inch of rain, and the track went from absolutely sick to not so sick. It was muddy. There was puddles everywhere, ruts under the mud. The track turned to snot. It wasn't anything that you could just grip on. It wasn't ideally the fun track that everyone saw on Saturday, and on Friday. So it kind of ruined the weekend a little bit for myself. I was gonna race. I was stoked to get out there and actually race. I'm gonna start racing plus 25 junior, which is something that I've been working at a little bit this off season. And I went out there on Saturday practice. That was a dumb idea, not fun. But I got a real feel for the track conditions on what the guys were gonna get on Sunday. So super cool. I'm not a mud guy, and with my legs, I just don't have the grip quite yet, and the flexibility to get up on my feet so quickly. I basically cried like a wolf, and that was it. I was done. I wasn't gonna race. So Sunday it was really cool. Nobody raced, by the way, on Saturday. No pro dudes except Preston Campbell, and he absolutely whooped everybody. So anyways, Sunday, super stoked. I'm gonna open up my computer here because I just let it close off. But so we had everybody except I noticed somebody on the pro line that I did not know got hurt that wasn't there, and that was Trevor Stewart. For most of you guys, I don't know if you guys know, but I guess he broke his navicular. I'm not sure when. I haven't reached out to him, but we're giving him some speedy wishes to get better. Trevor Stewart, get better, bro. I heard you broke your navicular, and we hope that you get your stuff sorted out, man. So we love to see you back, and obviously we love to see as many pros as we can get. Unfortunately, I don't think that there was ideally the whole pro line there this weekend. And I think that has a lot to do with the mud. Like I said, it was a mudder. So if you're paying for your own equipment and you don't show up to race, it's probably the reason why. When you're on a budget, you're on a budget, and if you can't make it fly with a mudder in between, because you pretty much are going to need a new clutch, and most likely you're going to need a new bottom or top end. I mean, it's just how it is. We only had 15 pros show up, but the big guys were there, and even we had a few guys that aren't really a part of this series. Anson Maloney came down, which was cool to see him. He's been to 6 days a few times and really rips. He's a NorCal dude. He's from District 36, so really cool to see Maloney out there. And then Owen McKill, I'm not really sure, but I believe he's another guy that's from the NorCal play up north. So, and it was really cool to see those guys, get mixed in there with the pros. But I'm just gonna give you guys like a straight rundown of the top 10. Surratt, DeMartel, Oliveira, Martinez, Oliveira, Heft, Snowgrass, Walton, Bell, Redondi, LaFontaine. That's the top 10 dudes. Okay, and all those dudes have either podium or won a race, and that's pretty freaking gnarly. Like, imagine going up against those guys. So Sunday we waved that green flag. Remember, the new series or the new rule of the series is dead engine start, which is I think it's a game changer. I think it levels the playing field. I know a lot of guys were complaining about guys jumping the line and pretty much jumping the line, and they felt like guys were cheating. And it's not that it's cheating, it's the upper edge. Usually the guys that jump the line usually fall back. So unfortunately, I think it's a game changer. So if you're not on your game and you don't know your dead engines, I think it evens the playing field. So good for you guys. I'm stoked to see the racing get much tighter. And when we started the race, it was it was surprise, you know what I mean? Heft really got right to the lead pretty quickly. I'm not actually, Logan, you know who got the whole shot?
Yeah, it was Heft and...
It
was Mateo.
It was Mateo who ripped the whole shot, right? Yeah, okay. I thought it was him. I didn't want to say it, but it was Mateo. But Mateo rips a hole. Yeah, I remember he pulled. That's right. It was him. He rips a hole shot, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is first race. He rips a hole. It's gonna be gnarly. Like, dude, big dog's gonna eat. You know, and you know he's fired up, and I'm really stoked. He's on that Red Bull KTM, and he's definitely gonna be somebody to be reckoned with. And you know, this weekend he was for sure. You know, and I think he's got to learn that first few laps and sort it out. But again, it's a mud race. It wasn't really something that we're all accustomed to. So he came around in 7th on the first lap, and you know, I know he wants to be better, but you know what? He was in the fight pretty much all day long. Wasn't too far back. He was in that second group, but Heft really made his way to the lead, and I gotta say, like, at first I was kind of like, oh dude, and by the way, Heft's on the Purvines Yamaha, and he was on a 23 Yamaha 450, which is big, and I'm gonna tell you why here in a second. He rips a hole, or he passes into the lead and absolutely starts shredding. Like, not like typical, like, oh, let's get into the rhythm. No, starts sprinting right off the bat. And what was keen to the eye was that he brought Surratt with him. 2 guys that have raced motocross professionally, 2 guys that have raced supercross professionally, have probably raced in mud before, probably know how to bring the pace in the mud. And it wasn't a shocker to me. He got to the front, Surratt right behind him, and these two were literally pulling away from Dante. But I will say Dante did match, you know, in lap times, but they had already opened up a significant gap on the first 2 laps that it wasn't like, he wasn't like too far back. I think he was only 15 seconds back on the first, no, he was only 3 seconds back from from Surratt. I'm sorry, I'm getting confused here with Heft, but yeah, Heft rips a 10:31 on the first lap, and you know, Dante came in at a 10:39 and Surratt at 10:36. So these guys are absolutely shredding, and that's like the guy that got second, D Martel, ripped a 10:55 lap time on the first lap. Okay, so you're telling me that they were literally almost 20 seconds faster on the first lap. Like, that's insane. That's incredible. And these guys are factory dudes. You know, Cole was at a 10:42 on the first lap. Cole's on the SLR Honda. It's good to see him back. He looks healthy, refreshing, ready to go ripping. And so one thing I noticed was Surratt and Heft Surratt was riding the like just the perfect distance back. I heard him mention to me, he said most likely it was more like you know, I was riding just far enough back to let a mistake happen, but keeping him just enough pressure to let him know I was there, because there was one single line, and that's what they were doing. I mean, there was one line, pretty much. The track was really, really slick still. The mud was disgusting. There was some of the hills were still bad. It was just slick as snot, but these pro guys, they ride one line when it gets like that, and they just rip it consistently. And so I was sitting in the pits, and I noticed on the second lap that Surratt actually started to close the gap a little bit on Heft. He matched his lap, and he slowly started picking away at the lap times. But again, like I said, these guys were fighting 1-2, 1-2, and then Dante wasn't more than 10 seconds back the whole time. And he also was just enough in Surratt's his eye to see that you know, Dante was right there. I mean, Surratt could see that Dante was right there. So you know that the champ was playing a game here. So when I say he's playing the game, I'm pretty confident Dante knows his limitations. And that kind of showed in this race. But his limitations were basically based on not pushing it too hard, because he didn't need to push it too hard. He almost was riding like he was waiting for something to happen and he was going to slide his way back into the lead, normally like he does. Now, Havasu, last year, he actually ripped a whole shot. He fell back a position or two and then came right back and won the dang thing. And I think he revs he's got to get his engines revved up a little bit before he starts firing on all cylinders. And another guy, when you're a 3-time champion, dude, there isn't anything except winning. You know, you do not get third and you're happy, or second and you're happy. No, dude, you're a 3-time champion, you win. That's what you want to do. That's what your hunger's there. You're there to win a race. So he's playing his cards right. If he's not in the top 5, you'll see the urgency to get to the front. But if he's in the top 3, I guarantee you, you're going to see this playbook happen more and more and more. He's going to sit back and wait to pounce, and when he pounces, you know, he's going to pull away those 10, 20 plus 30 seconds, you know. And like we've seen before, and I think the only guy really to keep him bluntly honest is Cole Martinez, and we saw that at Glen Helen last year. But anywho, we get halfway into the race, and I immediately notice some things going on over at JCR. It looks to me that Gage and Johnny are getting ready to pit Surratt a lap early, and I kind of thought that was a kind of weird, and because usually these guys typically pit on the same lap. But one thing I did notice was Surratt put in a freaking heater on that lap before he came into pit, which was sick. Like, the dude was shredding the mud and whatnot. But what was cool to me was I think Johnny played a strategic role in this pit. He knew he couldn't push, obviously, that next lap, or he probably knew he could, but it might run out of gas, so he pit him a lap early. While that happened, Dante got around him and Heft was still ahead of him, and those two opted not to pit. So Surratt gets out in under 6 seconds, which was gnarly. He still threw down like one of his faster laps on that lap, and he was only 10 seconds off the lead when he took this. He was only 10 seconds off the lead, like after he took the pit is what I'm getting at. And the one thing I was saying, sorry guys, the one thing I was saying about it was like the strategicness of what Johnny did was, okay, pit him, because I know he's going to throw a heater in right now, and we're going to probably take the lead. Well, that's exactly what happened. And not only did he just take the lead, he took the lead and took the lead and brought Dare DeMartell with them. So that's one thing I want to jump on real quick. Dare DeMartell was in 8th place on the opening lap. He was in 8th place on the second lap. He went from 8th to 5th on the third lap, and then just slowly started picking like the laps off. So Dare ran a 10:33 on lap 4, and then everybody else was that's 10 seconds a lot faster than anybody else on the track. That's insane. That's absolutely insane. 10 seconds a lot faster when you're halfway through a race. Dude, that's ripping. So your guy, another NorCal guy, which I'm saying the mud plays a factor into this race, he rips a whole shot. I mean, gets a bad start, but he's progressively getting faster. That's the one cool thing about off-road is like you can get faster and still have a chance to win the damn thing if you're 10th on the first lap. I've seen Caselli do it multiple times. I've seen Dietrich do it in his day. I've seen freaking basically anybody. I've seen a guy get a dead last start and then come through on first on the first loop of a Harriman. Like, these things they're just superhuman powers, I call them. But Dare was on one. He was obviously he was ripping. So Surratt gets the lead. Dare chases him. But one thing about Dare is he can go a little bit longer than the other guys. Dare actually held the lead. Dare actually got to the back wheel of Surratt, but he opted not to pit. So Dare actually went longer than Surratt. Went longer than not only Surratt, but he went longer than Dante, and then he went longer than freaking what's his name, Heft. So this all goes down in one lap, and Heft made the move back into third. Now it was Surratt, DeMartell, and Heft, and then Dante. This is where things get a little dicey, okay? Surratt comes in, he goes out, D. Martel comes in for a pit, and I notice, I'm sitting in my pit, and I look over and I see Timmy Wigan, KTM team manager of Red Bull KTM, he brings him in, or has a pit board out on the opposite side of the pits. KTM's on this far side of the pits. And I want to say the pit board said something, and it threw Dante off for a loop, because when he came by, he put his hands in the air, looked at Timmy, and was like, what is going on? Like, what the hell are you doing, dude? And as he does that, Heft closed the gap about a second. They come ripping down the pits wide open into the chicane. They had a little chicane in the middle to slow them down because it was super fast, and you know, they're do a safety thing. I wasn't a big fan of it. I didn't think it was cool. They all need to be consistent, and in reality, these guys love consistency. And when they do something like that, it throws these guys for a freaking loop. But at the end, we get to the chicane, and Heft's not letting off, and freaking Dante's not letting off, and they start to slide into each other. And then all of a sudden, one goes one way and the other one goes the opposite way, and Dante flips over the freaking hay bale, dude, and just ragdolls. It was so gnarly. It was abrupt and aggressive, but at the end of the day, it was a racing situation. And the reason why I say it was a racing situation is these guys are professional racers. This is what they do. This is what they love to do. This is what they practice. That's all they do. Okay? The reason why I say it's a racing incident and it wasn't an aggressive incident is because a racer is not going to let off and give that upper edge. The second you give the upper edge, they know your weakness. Okay? That was what was going on. The weakness of, okay, if I give this edge to him one little bit, then he knows my weakness, and that's just what happened. Unfortunately, Dante got the crap end of the stick, and it didn't work out for him. And you know what, dude? He popped back up. He rode right into his pit. They fixed his bike. He's pissed. Understandably pissed, but you know what? Anybody's going to be pissed in that situation. And I mean, it is what it is. You can't let your emotions override yourself. Like, you have to cool your emotions, and you basically woke the lion up when you did that. And his I don't know, I'm not sure his emotions were tamed, but at the end of the day, you're in it for a championship. This is a 10-round series, and he knew he had to pounce. He knew that if he bounced back up, he had to get through the guys that passed him. And I'm not talking about guys that are slow either, dude. You had Walton in that group. You had your brother Mateo in that group. You had Cole Martinez in that group. You had Lyndon Snowgrass in that group. I mean, that's the guys that were in the group that he went down to 7th place, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Or yeah, he went lap 6, dude. Dude goes down to 7th place. 7th in one crash. He goes to 7th. That's how tight these guys are, by the way. And it's just like, okay, so you crash, you fall down, you're trying to get your thoughts together, and Surratt and D. Martel are checked. They're checked out. There's a race of their own going up on the front. We'll get back to that in a second. As Dante leaves, he is on the rev limiter of his motorcycle, pissed off riding, aggressive. All of a sudden, this lion comes out of the freaking grass and just starts ripping. This guy he threw down some heaters. We're talking a 10-13 on lap 7. A 10-13. Hey, Logan, a 10-13.
10-13.
Okay? Their opening lap, their laps were 10-40 or 10-31s, 10-36s, 10-45s, 10-50s. We're talking about a 10-13, brother. Where do you get that from? Do you understand how fast that is? Like, what in the world were you eating, bro? Wheaties? Cheerios? Give me some of that stuff, bro. You woke the dragon. Where was that lap in the beginning of the race? You know, you put yourself in the situation of tangling with another guy. Where was that in the beginning of the race? I guarantee you put one of those down in the beginning of the race, you're never going to have a problem again. That's unbelievably fast. unbelievably uncharacteristic, and that's my off-road guy right there, Dante. That's my off-road guy. So way to wake up later in the race, push back to third, which is incredible, absolutely incredible. I know your brother's not too stoked because you went right by him. And Mateo, you rode a hell of a race too, top 5 in your first real pro race. I mean, we'll give you Havasu because it was Havasu, but this is your first pro race for Red Bull KTM. Absolutely digged it. You did a great job. And there's nothing to be ashamed of, dude. You rode a good race, solid laps, you clicked them off, and that's it. Surratt, D. Martel back at the front. Here we go. 2 laps to go. I make my way down to Johnny Campbell, Engaged Day, JCR Honda. I sit in between them and Mark Samuels in their pits. I'm watching Collier in the Pro 2 class because I'm keeping an eye on the Pro 2 class. And then I'm watching, Surratt and Gage. One thing I want to make note. I told you guys Surratt's running a small tank, so he's got to come back and he's got to hit a dry brake before he freaking finishes his lap, dude. So he comes in and they're going to pit him this lap. I caught him at like perfect time. I tried to stay out of the way, which I did. I got pulled out on my phone because I had to see what they got. Like, I got to see the video of what they got going on. You know what I mean? I want to make sure if something happens, like I got it on film so I can post it to the website or something cool. And then I'm there, and Surratt rolls in. D. Martel is 10 seconds back at this point. 10 seconds. So that means Johnny and Gage have to pull him in, hit him with his IMS, and under 5 seconds have him out of the pit and gone. That gives Surratt just a little bit of leeway to open up the gap on D. Martel. So he's gone. He comes into the pit. They go to stab it. Gage can't really get it, and he finally gets it. Johnny's behind him saying, giving him some good thoughts. Puts the dry brake down and tells Surratt to take off as Gage is still fueling him. Okay? Surratt takes off, loses the dry brake. The fuel goes all over the motorcycle. I'm sure his balls aren't feeling good at this point. Soaks the motorcycle, and the bike starts going boom, 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 boom. It finally cleared out because fuel went. I think what happens is fuel goes under the radiators, and the fuel is colder than the obviously the radiators, and it instantly shocks them, and it makes the bike like all of a sudden like run weird. I think personally that's what I think, but I don't know. Johnny Campbell, you can tell me what the true statement behind that is, or the true meaning is behind that. And then as he pulls out and his bike's going, Martel just cranks on his rear tire. And these guys had a sprint on the last lap. And we're all waiting there in anticipation, and we watch him go out on the track, and Surratt's holding him off. He's not budging. He's keeping a keen focus on exactly what he's doing. I mean, dude, this guy was lasered. He was lasered in. That's what you have to do to win the race. And when you put all those things together, working hard, riding your dirt bike consistently, riding off-road races. He just won a hare and hound, something uncharacteristic to Ryan Surratt, who's a supercross racer, motocross racer, who's now transitioning to off-road. Johnny Campbell gives him this elusive ride, this program to go out there and win races, and on a good bike with factory Honda. That's how you do it, dude. That's how you freaking do it, my guy. And it's so cool to see. I've gone trail riding with Surratt like once or twice now. I've hung out around him, and he's a really cool, genuine dude, and he just loves dirt bikes. And it's really cool to see a kid that works really hard, who really hasn't gotten the really full support that he deserves, what I think he deserves for sure. Like, the dude should be on an outdoor team if it were me. I personally think the guy gets gotten top 10 in national motocross races. Like, that is gnarly. We're talking about guys he's racing like Ken Rocks and Eli Tomac. These are the guys that he's top 10 with. So to come out, transition your focus, and get into off-road and absolutely crush it and get your first NGPC win, dude, you killed it. And you know what? There's been some talk going around the pits. Like, I hung around a little bit, and I've been listening to what some of the guys were saying. And you know what, dude? To me, and to everything that I've seen and everything I watched, you were the most honest racer as well on the track. And that is what it makes me more stoked, is that you actually were ripping the track. There's been a lot of talk about, people were pissed about, someone got off the track and then they started, they went around this, they went around that. I've watched a lot of the film. I've watched a lot of things that everyone was talking about, and I gotta say it right now. All of you guys, every single dude on there, and even the ones that were talking, took these lines. So, Sarat, I gotta say, dude, I watched your video, and guess where you were? You were on the track. Everyone else that was talking smack, they were off the track. So, you know what, dude? Kudos to you, Sarat. Getting your win. I'm stoked for you. I know, I'm just stroking it right now. It's just Sarat, but dude, that's so sick. JCR Honda, big, good job to them. I know Johnny's been pushing hard for this. It's really cool to see. And Gage Day, he gets his win. He gets a win again. Like, dude, it's got to be feeling like it's got to be so warm and welcoming to get that team back on top. It's good for Johnny. It's good for racing out here in the West. Like, super cool to see this. And then obviously having Preston back racing in the Pro 2 class, like getting him healthy and getting him back in racing. It just overall was a good weekend. Dare D. Martel, Factory Beta, super cool to see him get a podium in second. At one point, he was the fastest guy on the track. I mean, like I said, he went from 8th to 5th to 3rd to 2nd and not like under a few laps. That was really cool to see. Again, another guy just really coming through and making waves in off-road. He's a motocross guy, and Factory Beta picked him up, and now he's making waves. This is his 3rd year or 2nd year, but 3rd year-ish. That's how long it takes to get going. So just to let you all know that want to do this, you want to figure this out, you better look out for these two the rest of the year. Dante, all right, my guy, 3rd place, 3rd champion, your 3rd championship in a row. You get another 3rd place as a podium. You haven't finished off the podium in quite some time. Take that as a win with everything that went down this weekend. Pretty stoked to see you on the podium, but at the same time, we got to work on those emotions a little bit. We got to work on those emotions. I know you're a true grit heart guy. I know you're a champ. You deserve everything you've gotten. You've worked hard for everything. But man, we got to keep those emotions down at that finish line, my guy. Got a little roosted there, a little roost action, a little pissed off, screaming at some dudes. Let's remember, we're just racing off-road. It's all good. We know you can do it. We already know. We know who, we respect you. Everyone respects you. So, keep it up. Pretty stoked for you though. 3rd on the podium after what I saw. I didn't think you were going to get back up after that crash. And Cole Martinez coming in 4th on that SLR Honda. Kind of a silent day for the guy. He rode pretty consistent. He rode in that 2nd group most of the day. Again, super dialed in, and really cool to see Mark and SLR Honda really putting a program together and making it work. Remember, this guy, don't freaking count this guy out. Won Loretta's last year and 2 championships. He won a few races. He put himself in the points lead at one point in the beginning of the year. He's gonna be fast. He knows how this system works. This is his 3rd year. I keep saying that 3rd year, that 3rd and 4th year, that is when you guys figure this stuff out. And look out, dude, we're going to have 4 winners this year. I'm telling you right now, we're going to have more than 4 winners this year. Cole Martinez, guarantee you'll be one of them. All right, in top 5, Mateo, rounding out the top 5 was Mateo Oliveira, my guy. You got this. So keep it up. Top 5, solid report. If you guys haven't already, make sure you guys go check out post-race review interviews. Mateo's stoked on his race. He had a good, solid ride. Like he said, he wanted to get back by his bro, but sometimes a big bro just has a little bit more in the tank, and that's why he's a champ. Learn from the best, train with the best. Well, good thing you're working with him every day. So, good to see you up at the front. Heft ended up 6th, Snowgrass 7th, a guy from GNCC he rode really well. He was ripping most of the day and then kind of fell off towards the end. So will we see him out round 2? We hope to. I'm not sure how farewell he's going to do at Taft. It's a little bit higher speed, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Walton didn't have the race that he wanted. We talked a little bit. He's just kind of a, like he said, diesel engine, but he's going to get going. He's going to get roaring. And look for Rockstar Energy Husky to be back on top. Really cool to see Anthony DiBisilio out there. Really cool friend of mine. I've known him for 15 years, I think now. And if you guys don't know who he is, he was Kirk Caselli's old mechanic. But Anthony has been a genuine soul to this this sport for a long time, and now he's a team manager of the Offroad Husqvarna, and it's just dream job, man. Really cool to see you. I love to see you and your family out at the races. I believe his son or his stepson, doesn't matter, it's his son. I believe he got 2nd or 3rd in the intermediate race, so good on him. And yeah, good to see you guys. Walton, take notes, man. He's the guy. You know, he knows pretty much everything, and almost basically was the goat's mechanic. So and I know a lot of people are gonna fight me on that, but absolutely. Zach Bell, welcome him back to PC Cowie. He's back with Robbie Bell. Good to see him back. He had some really strong lap times towards the end of the race. I mean, he was in the 11s in the first few laps, and then he dropped into the 10:39s to finish out, which was lead pace, really. So that's pretty strong. Oh my, dude, Dante ran a 10:16 on the last lap. Like, that's like almost 20 seconds faster than everybody else. Dude, that's he ran a 10:13 and then ran a 10:16. So cool, the engine's on lap 8 at a 10:33, but let's re-rev them and get it 10. Dude, where did he finish? Where did he finish? Bro. Dude, this guy's insane right now. He clocked down like 40 seconds at one. 38, 30, 36 seconds, bro. 30. Oh my Lord. This guy was on one. Oh my gosh. He finished 7 seconds. He finished 7 seconds behind Derek. That is. Oh my God, dude. And he only finished 8. He only finished 7 seconds. 6. I'm doing math wrong. No, I'm not. 11 seconds off the lead. Holy crap. This guy was ripping. Jesus, Dante. Take it easy, huh? Anyways, good to see Zach back. And Giacomo rounding out the top 10. LaFontaine got 11th. He rode really well, though. Another guy that had fast lap times throughout the end of the race. And look for him to be on the podium for sure. He'll find his groove. I guarantee it. Tyler Lynn didn't have a day that he wanted. He had a crash. It sounds like his bike got ran over, broke his throttle, and it kind of screwed it up. But yeah, dude, it happens. This is off-road racing. It is what it is. Look for him to be in the mix as well. The guy can go fast. Just look for him to be in the mix. We're going to rip into the Pro 250, guys. It was another weekend. We had our Pro 250 show, preview show. Make sure you head over to YouTube. Check that YouTube out. Pretty stoked to get that one going. That's a cool show because there's so many guys in this class, 18 dudes. Again, the rain came. More or less, people didn't come because of it. It doesn't matter. We're going to have 20 dudes at Taft. I guarantee you on both lines. We need to double that. Bring your friends, bring your sisters, bring all of them. Guarantee if you show up, you bring one guy, they're going to bring another guy, they're going to bring another guy. Pretty soon we're going to have 40 dudes on the gate again. So let's get this going. We get 40 dudes on the gate. How sick would that be? It would be dope. Anyways, Here we go. We need to fix NGPC. We need to fix our guy Jack Simpson SLR Honda went to Pervine's Yamaha. So make sure we fix that in the results. Hey Logan, do you like graphics?
I love graphics.
Where do you get your graphics from?
Moto cuts.
No, you don't.
Tyler Belknap.
Tyler Bill. Okay, yeah, he gets them through Moto Cuts. That's all right. But I like Moto Cuts too because I'm friends with that guy, Todd. He's a cool guy. I've known him my whole life. I grew up with him. So well.
I bought his bike. So.
Mike, you borrowed his bike?
No, his mountain bike. I bought it.
You bought his mountain bike?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So your Moto cut it out.
Dude, I'm gonna cut it out.
Dude.
See, good to go.
You hear that, Abatoy? You didn't sell a freaking bike.
No bikes.
You didn't sell a bike to Logan.
No bikes.
But anyways, if you guys are in the market for your graphics or vehicle wraps, make sure you guys check out Rad Custom Graphic or Custom Designs. Ryan Abatoy, District 37 guy, grew up, Pro 2 championship in Works. I believe he was third in Works championship overall at one point. Really, friends with Caselli, probably some of the best style on a dirt bike that no one has the style that Abatoy has. He just absolutely flows. And anyways, yeah, make sure you guys check out Rad Custom Graphics. They're a little sponsor of ours. They do vehicle wraps, dirt bike graphics, custom designs for shirts, jackets, embroidering, hats. All of the above. Make sure you check them out. Your one-stop shop for graphic needs. And we're gonna roll into these guys here, and let's just get after it. I mean, Jack Simpson. There's nothing that I can say right now that you guys are gonna be entertained with because Jack Simpson absolutely checked out from the start. Pervine's Yamaha first ride 250F rips the whole shot and checks out. And I don't mean he just checks out. He checked out like 5 minutes. Checked out. The guy gets 9th overall, rode a flawless race, didn't seem to booger one bit. He did tell me, one mental note to take for all you Pro 2 guys, this is what he's accustomed to riding. This is what he loves to do back at home. He says this is just like home. So if you got smoked by 5 minutes, well, take it with a grain of salt because this is what he's used to riding. And Jack, it's really cool to see you up there get that freaking win. You were on a different level this last weekend, absolutely on a different level, and it was really cool to see. I don't mean to be, pushed past this, but at the end of the day, there's nothing I can talk about that's going to entertain anybody because you absolutely checked out, like gone. The best thing I can say was you had a small battle with some 450 dudes, and you went right by them like they were weak. So congratulations, getting your. I believe this is your first NGPC win, if not your second one, but it's really cool to see an Australian racer making a name for himself in the west coast of off-road racing. There's nothing more exciting than coming over here, risking everything and winning. Like, that makes you feel good inside, and I know it makes you feel good about making your decision to go with Pervine's Yamaha. You really put yourself on the top of the box of the step, and really cool. So the fight for second, third, and fourth at one point, and fifth was just incredible. You had Gus Reardon, Kai Aiello, JP Alvarez was in that mix. Cody Simpson was always on the bubble of that mix, and Colton Eck as well was on that bubble. And at the end of the day, as the race kept dragging on and on and on and on, and the track started to break in and in and in, and you started to see the gaps kind of separate more. It looked, though, to me that JP was actually going to put it together, and he looked really good. Now, JP, you got to remember, you got to remember JP is on a new team. He's on RPM KTM 250, and I know they're working out those kinks because it's a new bike. It just got suspension. They're still trying to put everything together. Looks like he might have crashed a little bit, but it's okay. He'll bounce back. We'll get him back up on the front there because that's kind of where he's going to be. He showed real good speed. He showed podium speed pretty much. The the first few laps. He was third, sixth, and then he looks like he crashed. But look for JP to be towards the front. Definitely looking forward to seeing that RPM KTM, do work. That's kind of where it's at, and he's gonna do work, and that's it. He's got the team now. He's got the opportunity. Now let's see it. Do it. Just do it. I know you're working hard, but let's do it now. Gus Reardon rode another good race. Unfortunately for him, he had a air filter problem. So he runs in, bike comes in, and he's, you could see him in there. They had a pretty much big gap on third, fourth, and fifth, and they're trying to figure this out, dude. And I didn't think they were gonna figure it out. I didn't think their bike was gonna make it. Somehow, some way, they get him back on the track, and just freaking like right in front of Kai, right in front of Collier, and not far behind was Cody, and it was pretty cool. It made the last few laps exciting to watch, because Kai came from like sixth on the first lap, and he was pretty far back, and he just, again, chipping away. I keep saying this. He chipped away, and he made his way into third. Fortunately for him, he landed on the podium. That's something better. That's something that he has worked for, and that's where he's going to be the rest of the year. I don't expect anything less from Kai. I expect him to get up there and challenge race wins with Gus and challenge race wins with Jack. This is his second or third year as well, and he needs to start doing this, being a more consistent podium guy, and that's just it. I mean, if you want to do this sport, you got to be the best really in the West. So if you're going to do it, start winning. Get on that podium is a great way to start. Coming in fourth was Collier Martinez on the SLR Honda. Most impressive racer of the weekend by far. If you guys remember, Collier broke his wrist maybe 3 months ago. He rode Havasu, moved him up to the Pro 2 class. Mark Samuel signs him up, Pro 2. Was in the battle pretty much all the race. He was fourth, third, and third. He rode third pretty much almost the whole race. I was watching. I was over at their pit, and Gus is in the pits, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna get him back. He's gonna go back in the third." And unfortunately, Gus is pulled out in front of Kai and him, and Collier misses the podium by one. Kai kind of came out of nowhere on him, and he kind of caught him off guard. And that's just racing, though. That's part of the pro class. Stay on top of it, and you're gonna succeed. So, Collier, impressive ride, my guy. Fourth place. Really cool to see you up there, and rounding up top five was Cody Simpson on his he rode his YZ 250, but he's going to be riding a KTM, I believe, or a gas. Do you know if he's going to be on a gas or a KTM?
Probably gas.
Is it gas? Yeah. So he'll be on the gas. I believe he's under Kilmartin's team.
That was like Ryzen or whatever.
Right, Raisin sunglasses, I think.
Yeah.
I think Stover's deal with the Graveleys or something. But yeah, look for Cody Simpson. He'll be a pretty good consistent guy, and a lot of the contenders in this race didn't pan out. It's a 250 class. A lot of crashing was going on. A lot of falling was going on. People were coming back and forth, and like Cole Zeller, one of the guys I expected to be towards the front. He hit the ground a few times, wasn't really in that click, but he never run the mud like that before. So look for him to be in the front in the next few rounds. We got Colton Eck just he never seemed to get it going all day, guaranteed. Mud was a big factor. Preston Campbell, he rode really well. This is his first race NGPC back since he broke his back, and he rode the Pro 2 class, and he rips a 9th. Like, that's pretty impressive to me. Thomas Dunn rounded out the top 10. Clay Hengeveld in 11th, and that's not where those guys should be. They need to be higher than that. They know they need to be higher than that. So let's put it together. I want to just touch a little bit on the pro women. There wasn't really much action going on. Brandy Richards took the win. Silvestri in second. Michaela Nielsen actually rounded out the podium, which is good for her because she had a gnarly one on the first one. I saw her bars. They were completely shabbily bent on the first lap. So good to see her getting that podium. I look forward to seeing her actually more often at the front. She's going to be someone to look out for. She's got some speed, so these girls should be. Oh, dude, she's got some speed, bro. She rolled a 12:20. Oh, 12:57. Mine not 12:27, but 12:57, that's pretty fast still. So, yeah, that's actually really good. So yeah, look for her towards the front, for sure, mixing it up with the top girls. And yeah, and that's it for the women. It was a good weekend this weekend. NGPC round 2 is coming in Taft next weekend. We're looking forward to that one. Dirt diggers always do a good job, but what an opening round, honestly. This was one of the best opening rounds I think so far, and we look forward to it. I'll have somebody in studio next time, so we're not just talking to myself and Logan, and we'll make it more jam packed. But tune in, look forward to it. Head over to West Coast Offroad Pod, give that a follow, get the shorts. We'll have some reels up there. I got Ryan and Logie doing some posts. I'm not on social media right now, but the guys they're handling their shit. So make sure you guys check them out. Check out Rev, my dudes, Rev Productions, and Lil Stoopy. He's my guy too. So Ryan and Stoopy, they do a good job. If you guys want a video shot at the races, hit them up. They know they do a professional job. They know what they're doing, and they love it. They love it, absolutely love it. And me and Logie gonna go do our things. We're gonna go chill, and you guys have a good night.